Austin, Texas. And of course, we're here at the Circuit of Americas, ready for round number 10 of the RLH Season 7 Championship. And of course, we are back again with Category 6. Everyone's favourite bunch of drivers, of course. And just waiting for the first car to make their way up that climb up towards turn number 1. As qualifying is underway, we're just waiting for the first cars to venture out onto the circuit. Looks like it's going to be a Ferrari, the first one out, and I think that could be Crankybot. Oh, down there's an Alfa Romeo. Well, dueling away now as they run the pit lane. You see in the bottom right hand of your screen, I think the Alfa Romeo of Gerbs is just about nips ahead. And he'll be the first car out on track, making his way up towards turn number 1. A 5.513 kilometre circuit here. First Grand Prix course back in 2012. We've had a few different winners since then. I can remember, I think Vettel, well, he must have won it back in sort of 2013. Lewis Hamilton, of course, took the first win and taken a few recently. Kimi Räikkönen, of course, 2018. And I think, was it Valtteri Bottas? 2019? Hamilton's still in the championship, but I think Bottas won it last year. Of course, 56 laps. Normally, we've got 28 in store for us in not too long a time. And who do you think will come out on top today? 13 drivers. We've had somebody jump in and join. I think that's Felix. The other of the Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo are fighting with full strength. So are Red Bull, so are Ferrari, so are Williams, of course, flying with Alco's. There's a good battle between the two teammates. And Gerb's just coming through now. This technical part, this third sector, very technical, very tight, and it's a very, very difficult section of track, especially that sort of 13, 14, and 15. And it can all get very difficult. But making his way towards the final corner, turn number 20, drops it down into third gear, and he's ready to start his flying lap. That rear end, a little bit slidey we've seen on this lap already, but he's now making his way up towards turn number 1. And here we go. Making nice and hard, keeping the car nice and tucked in. As Milo joining us, well, a few guys joining in qualifying. Of course, you can do that now in this year's game. Flat out now as you make the run towards the S's. 3, 4, and 5 follow, and he decides to brake for the first time through that section down into fifth gear now. You take a late apex there, and he does a 24.8 in the first sector. It was a very decent time from Gerbs. Well, we've seen him being very quick this year, but just of course a newer driver. I think joined in Monza it was, so he's been a bit unfortunate. So hopefully he'll be looking to push on here in USA, and he's doing that at the moment. Very, very good initial first sector there for him. See what tyres people are on. Everyone out on the soft compound tyres. Of course, the strategy is, I think, a 2-stop. We're looking at probably a potential 2-stop. As Gerbs makes his way, the heaviest braking point, turn 12, that's going to be the best overtaking spot, and now he makes his way into the third sector as he runs towards turn number 13. He's looking very good so far. Is the Alfa Romeo gyro. Looks on edge, but that right side of the edge, and driving very, very nicely at the moment, it must be said. I tried the 1-stop, but I think the safety car ruined it for me on Tuesday. 2-stop, I think, is what most drivers prefer to go to, because that's sort of where the tyres a bit more comfortable window. Keeps within track limits coming out of turn 19 and towards the final corner. The Alfa Romeo driver gets on the power, and what will the first time of the session be? It's a 33.1. That is not too shabby. Alonso, Crankybot comes across the line, but of course he's invalidated that, so it will not count, but it was a 32.5, so a very solid time from him. Reesberg is another driver invalidating. Looks like we've got a few drivers just starting their laps, but flying by Val puts his car onto provisional pole, and that is a 32.1 for him as he climbs up towards turn number 1. We'll see who else is coming to the end of their laps. Championship leader Big Bear just rounding the final corner, getting on the power now towards the line. It's a 1:31.3, and wow, that is a very, very quick time, putting him up onto provisional pole in this race. I'm surprised nobody's risked a set of mediums, because we don't have that many drivers. Only 13 as Pete puts his car into P4. It's a little bit time to find for him. The next driver to come to the line is Ralph. He's just making his way through the final sector. That long sweeping 16, 17 and 18, and then getting on the brakes for that very, very difficult turn 19. Got to keep it within track limits, and Ralph makes his way towards the final corner. Dropped into third gear, missing the apex a little bit on the inside, and that was a dangerous running wide moment there for him, but he completes the lap into 32.9 for Ralph. And Calais hasn't set a time yet. He's just making his way down that back straight. Annoyed Gamer just starting his flying lap at the moment. And Riley Boy got two drivers just behind him. There's a yellow flag somewhere, and it's where we are now, so I don't really know what's happened there. I think it might have been the two cars behind. Duking position maybe on in-laps / out-laps. Riley Boy coming towards the penultimate corner now. Whereabouts can he put his Red Bull? So we've got one of the Ferraris just coming up to the line. Didn't set a time, so I'm assuming he might have been validated. Riley Boy gets away with a validation there, and he comes across the line, and he goes P6 at the moment. We do have a Ferrari coming towards the line, and it looks like it's Dan. So how is that not a Ferrari going down towards the first corner? I do not know. It must be Cranky Ball. Towards the line Dan goes to. He gets P4. I think Cranky Ball's just starting his flying lap, and Calais put himself in P2. It's a very nice first lap for both the Williams drivers, very consistent in the low 32s for them. Calais before was telling me he wanted to try and maybe sneak into the 31s. So Big Bear looking very, very strong with that initial time as things stand, and that's a very interesting line there from Calais through the first sector. Felix 27 through sector 1 as he looks to set his first lap of the session. We've also got Skipper just about to start his flying lap, and Crankybot making his way down towards that turn 12 braking zone. Of course, that's the main overtaking. The main overtaking spot in the race today. That's the first DRS zone, the second DRS zone on the run down towards turn 1, which is very, very late into turn 1 because that rising climb towards the top of the apex. But we're now on board with Crankybot as he makes his way towards his penultimate corner. Can he keep it within track limits? Drops the car down to 5th gear. Probably didn't get it as tight as he wanted to. He's going to lose a little bit of speed there now, but towards the final corner, gets the car tucked in nicely here. Gets on the power of the wrist, sliding a little bit, but DRS open. He puts his car into P4 just behind the two Williams drivers. And so far, anyone on a flying lap? Annoyed Gamer invalidating this time around. Now Skipper faring 25.2. That's probably not what he'll be wanting in that first sector. Felix coming towards the final corner now. Can he get into that top 10, or will he be silent further back? Oh, Riley Boy's had an improvement actually from that initial lap, so well done to him. Felix in a P11. I think there might have been a small mistake in there somewhere. Skipper will be the next car to cross the line. We're on board with the Red Bull man. Can he challenge his teammate? And maybe the AlphaTauri of Annoyed Gamer put himself into sort of that mid top 10 mix. Got the win yesterday. Not yesterday, on Monday. Got the win in the Super Formula AM. And an RLH record with it as well. What can he do on this attempt in qualifying? It's P8 at the moment, just ahead of the AlphaTauri and the other Red Bull. So a very good time for him. I think he'll be happy to get one over on the sister cars, if you like. And I think we next car to start their flying lap is Reese Beard, just making his way towards the final corner now in that Haas car, the number 38. Home Grand Prix for the Haas team, and he's just about to start his flying lap. Of course, had a couple of races at the start of the season that were really, really strong, but do you know what? Both Haas drivers just maybe losing a little bit of consistency, and just getting involved in a few maybe incidents and caught up in some turn 1 melees and whatnot. So I think both Haas drivers have definitely got really, really good pace. Can we see Reese Beard lock it on this flying lap? And unfortunately, no, we can't, because he's taking just a little bit too much curb there as he made his way through the S's in sector 1, and he's backed off of this attempt. Flying Boy Val just starting his flying lap. We've also got, I think, Skipper's on his in lap, and Felix also starting flying lap. Let's follow up on board the Williams driver, currently sat in P3, as Big Bear also starts a lap, just making his way up towards turn number 1, and unfortunately it's an invalidation for Flying Boy Val, and this lap will not count. And there's Dan just getting out of the way on his out lap, but if I'm watching Flying Boy Val, the lap is already over before it got to the end of sector 1. What can Big Bear do as he flicks the car through nice and tidy through this first sector? What is the first sector split going to look like? He's a 10th down at the moment. 24.5, that's pretty quick. That's quicker than what I did. I think I was 24.7 in my race, but fair play from Big Bear. Super speed at the moment from the McLaren driver. The Finnish driver sort of is Finnish. I think he is Finnish. Yeah, he is Finnish. the Finnish driver embodying a bit of Kimi Räikkönen now, as the car absolutely under control, and he's flying in this qualifying session at the moment. Car on the inside, hopefully will stay there on the inside and flying, but of course he will. And nice and tight through turn number 12 and getting on the power now as he makes his way into the second sector, and he's gone purple in that middle sector, but I only think he was 2,000s up on his personal best there. What can he do in this final sector? Can he find a little bit more time as he gets on the power? Oh, the car looking a bit slidey as he makes his way into this final sector. The rear tyres just sort of seem to be giving up on him. Now into the penultimate corner. Can he get a nice run through here? Drops it down to 5th gear, bit of curb on the inside and keeping it nice within the track limits on the exit. Then towards the final corner, can he find any improvements on this flying lap on the power? DRS open towards the line, and he has found some time. It's a 31.258, and it gives him another half a 10. But look who's gone into P2. It's Gerbs out of absolutely nowhere. I think he's made quite a bit of improvements there, and we sort of missed out on that lap, unfortunately, because we were watching Big Bear's improvement. But a very, very solid time, and I think we'll watch the man currently now in 3rd place, Calais, just starting his flying lap. And of course his teammate wasn't very lucky on that last lap, but what can Calais do? Tantalisingly close to podium last week in Canada. I think the gap was 2/10 or something. It was crazy, but very nice and tidy through this first section. That's what you need in this section of track. Flying with uppers the other way. Oh, that was close. He's found 3/10 in the first sector, running a little bit wide as he made his way up towards turn 8 and 9, but now getting on the power. Hopefully that shouldn't compromise him too much, because a 3/10 improvement could put him back up into P2. Gets the car slowed down just about for turn 11, now getting on the power, and all he can do at this point is just think about that next braking zone for turn number 12. It was very, very heavy, the best chance to overtake in this race, and of course where the speed trap is, because everyone loves a speed trap. Gets the car nice and tucked in, a little bit of curb on the inside and getting on the power. What's the middle sector going to look like for the remaining driver? He's lost about a 10th of a second, but still he is he's up by quite a bit, and maybe just has that pace in this last sector to challenge Gerbs. We'll see what he can do now. Getting on the power, coming out that very, very difficult turn number 15, and now the long right-hander of 16, 17 and 18. Now you've got to think about 19, another very important corner. Got to make sure you keep it within the track limits. Nice bit of curb on the inside and very respectful to the track limits on the outside as well. Towards the final corner now, down into 2nd gear. Once that bit more bite and acceleration out of the final corner, the time is going to be a 31.715. And he puts himself up in a P2. Very nice time from Calais. What is Dan doing? Unfortunately, he's invalidated his lap, so he will not be improving this time around. Crankybot, though, is flying 4th into the second up, and he's fastest in the middle sector. Purple at the moment for the Red Bull man. If he can find that improvement in the final sector, maybe he can think about joining the sub-32 club. We'll have a look now as he flies through 16, 17 and 18, and now, of course, that very difficult turn 19. He's got to start thinking about down into 5th gear, running, 4th gear actually, running a little bit wide. Will that compromise him now? Through the final corner he goes, getting on the power and towards the line. Reese Spears been disqualified, and then it is P4 for Crankybot, just about sneaking in to the sub-32 club. It's all kicking off. Reese Spears been disqualified. We don't know what for. I don't even know where. He reversed somewhere. That was probably fun for him. But he will be starting P13. That is nailed on. How's Annoyed Gamer faring 3/10 down in the first sector? Not what he would be wanting. Is Felix? Where's Felix? Just starting his flying lap. He'll need to find a bit of improvements on the time he's already set, and we'll see what he can do on this current attempt. Just making his way through that first sector. He's going to be a bit more respectful to track limits than some of the other drivers, making sure he keeps it within the bounds of the racetrack in that first sector. Well, he's 8/10s up on his personal best, but he's not going to be troubling anyone up near the top of the field on this attempt. I think he just wants a clean lap in at this point, and now he can attack it because there's not that much worry for track limits. Of course, with only 12 drivers that are actually competing now in qualifying, it might just be more important to get the lap in rather than trying to do sort of a stonking time. Gerbs has got the support from Liam. Liam, one of the C4 drivers, couldn't race yesterday, but if you are part of the RLH Discord channel, you might have seen that I commentated on a race he did. Well, I commentated on the first 3 laps, and then I decided to leave. But a big improvements from Felix, 1.8 seconds up. Can he challenge maybe P11? I have to wait and see. Maybe he's trying to get P11. Wants to start on a brand new set of tyres at this point. And on the power now, the Alfa Romeo driver. Will we see any more drivers come out? Gerb's coming out once more. Flying Boy Val coming out again. Will Calais and Big Bear come out again? There's 3 minutes left in his qualifying session. The driver need to think about doing it sooner rather than later. I wouldn't really want to come out with less than 2 minutes left on the clock. But Felix round the final corner. The toe, and that is how he's done very well to keep it out. Oh no, he has retired. And Skipper's got involved as well. Oh, and Skipper's got a 5 cruiser penalty. Well, he didn't quite see what happened there. But maybe a hit from behind. I am not sure. I don't know what part of his car he lost. Skipper was on a flying lap as well, I think. So maybe Skipper was just catching or he just sunk through the floor. Then that was a bit worrying. But we'll move on to Flying Boy Val, who's just starting his flying lap now, making the climb up towards turn 1, getting on the brakes. Can he get it nice and tucked in? Just about. And that was beautifully just sort of around the inside apex there from the Williams driver. But now through this third sector, can he keep it nice? Being very respectful to the track limits. There's a yellow flag in sector 1. There's a gaggle of cars up at turn 1. Everyone wants to be the last car to sell a lap. Flying Boy Val doesn't care. He's a 10th up in the first sector. If he can get into the sub 32 club, maybe he can challenge Cranky Bot, maybe he can challenge Gerbs, and we'll see if he can get on top of his teammate. Calais just seems to have that little bit of the edge in qualifying over the last couple of races, but Flying Boy Val will try and put pay to that. Down the main straight now, up. Well, he's in a hot lap mode, he can't put it up into overtake. There is a right collection of cars. Pete seems to be spun round in that little train. Hopefully Calais behaving himself. I want to make sure he's near the front. Not biased, I'm just passing it. But 3/10 up for Flying Boy Val, and he's looking very good on this lap to, I think, maybe challenge for P2 here. Maybe challenge his teammate. We'll see what he can do. That's a nice clean exit coming out of turn number 15, and now flat out all the way through, keeping a nice tight line so you can line yourself up best, and he's done exactly that. Nice and tight, up into 8th gear, drops it down into 5th, and gets on the power now for the final corner. Braking down into, he's going to opt for 3rd gear, wants to make sure he has the traction coming out of the final corner. Opening DRS is going to be 1 minute 31.4, and that's a stonking lap time from Flying Boy Val, putting him up in a P2. And he'll be very happy with that purple final sector as well. Gerbs, unfortunately for him, is validated, but he has got the chance to go again. We'll see if he does that now. I think he will. We'll see what he does. Calais is currently behind Big Bear. Not a bad person to be behind, but I think they're going to start to back up. Anyone behind him? Yes, there is. Who should we follow in this final lap? Big Bear. Well, I think if he can find any more time, that'll be even more impressive from the McLaren driver. But I think we'll look at the and Gerbs. He's at the front of the train. What's his first sector looking like at the moment? He's, well, pretty much the same for him, at 24.6. That's a very good time. Really, the battle is sort of, I reckon, for P2 at this point. Can Calais, he's really not that far behind Big Bear. He needs to make sure he's not going to get the understeer, and I think it may be a bit of dirty air might have come into play there, and he's lost 0.4 of a second, and I think that's his qualifying done and dusted, to be honest with you. Maybe just a little bit too close to Big Bear would have helped him down the straight, but not at all in the corners, and Pete has retired in the pit lane, so that's all fine. All fun and games. Who's just coming to the final corner? Dan has bailed out of this current flying lap. There is Flying Boy Val, and Cranky Bot making his way down towards turn number 12. One of the Red Bulls, Skipper, not actually setting a time. Ralph finding a bit of improvements in that first sector. But I think Gerbs will be the next car to cross the line in anger, and the rear end there snapping about all over the shop like an alligator down by the river. And we'll see now coming towards the penultimate corner. Gerbs down into 5th gear. Of course, that's a bit of 4th there, cheeky. Towards the final corner, Gerbs goes. The Alfa Romeo driver getting on the power. That rear end sliding about, and there we go. Ending the lap in style, and he's going to reverse across the line to finish things off here. And I want to see him cross the line, but there's the Ferrari of Cranky Bot. Can he improve? He's going to smash through. Loses a bit of time, actually, in that whole shabado. But, oh, Big Bear. Big Bear. That is a time and a half. 30.8. And that is, well, very impressive and very deserved of pole position. He is 6/10. Well, 5.5, but we'll round it up to 6. 6/10 clear out in front, and this man, well, give him the championship now, because I remember the pre-season Australia, I think he came 4th. I think, I'm not sure, but just the improvement has been unbelievable from the Finnish driver. I don't think he uses a lot of assists as well. So that's very impressive as well. But just the rapid improvement, and it's turned into domination. Qualifying and the race. I'm in Canada last week. No matter what was thrown at him, safety car, virtual safety car, maybe a bit of, the thought of rain. No, Big Bear was in control. And it's been very, very impressive so far this season from the McLaren driver. But look who is in second and third. Oh, did Clay improve? Did he improve, or was that his time? He did improve. How did he improve on that? He was 14th down in the first sector. He did. Fair play, Clay. That's a stonking middle and final sector. I wrote you off. Fair play, mate. Fair play indeed. That is a very, very good effort to get P3. Flying without just nipping. So he gets the one over in the quali battle this week. But you're again, for Williams, they're up there once more, second and third. They'll be looking to try and cement maybe P2 in the Constructors' Championship. And speaking of the Constructors' Championship, well, it's up and away in the lead. McLaren at the moment, mainly down to Big Bear as well, getting strong points. And up on 207 points, yes, you heard me correctly, 207 points are McLaren. Racing Point currently in P2, 113. Ferrari in third, 102. And then it's fourth and fifth for Renault and Williams. They're both on 92 points. So there's a big battle going on for P2 in the Constructors' Championship at the moment. Skipper getting a 5-place grid penalty. That's not going to help Red Bull Racing's chances, and his own for that matter. But we turn our attention very briefly to the Drivers' Championship. Big Bear 171, Ralph 111, and then Pratik in third is on 68. That battle for third, but Pratik not being here as well. That could be very interesting to see how that shakes up toward at the end of this race. If we look at Pratik currently on 68 points, and we look down. Well, I'm gonna cut it off here. Apologies to anyone below. But 68 for Pratik, and Crankybot is on 53 and 8th. A win for someone can just mix it up. 25 points going to someone's way, other than Big Bear. He has got 6 wins this season. Super impressive. But a win somewhere else will just, shake that order up dramatically, and we could see a real fight for, third place especially, but also sort of any positions inside that top 10 with a lot of drivers getting podiums. It must be said, we have, I'm going to do the maths, 11 drivers have scored a podium this season in the C6. Unfortunately, Clay's the highest to have not scored the podium, but I'm confident today is the day for him. Penalties are going to be a big thing today, so drivers need to think about keeping it clean. We need to keep within track limits. We saw how costly it was in qualifying. A lot of drivers getting their times validated in Sector 1. But as the drivers ready up, the fuel loads and tyre strategies have been selected. Oh, and Milo's here. Milo's here as well. He's not really supposed to be in a Renault, but he is. What is that on top of the car? Calais, what are you doing? What is that? That's really creepy. Why is his driver stood on top of the car? Can you see it? Oh, it's gone. No, it's gone. That was like... Oh, that was really creepy. That was really creepy. I was forced to watch the Conjuring yesterday. Well, I didn't really watch it. I sat behind a pillow the whole time, and that's a bit creepy. After watching that, I'm a bit haunted. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign good things are happen. Not bad. Please don't be bad. Sign that good things are going to happen and Calais going to do well. We all hope so. Oh, that was very bizarre. I've seen sort of a glitch where like the drivers have no hands, but that was something else. He was stood on top of the car. Just sort of a ghost stood on top of the car. That is, whoa. I'm pretty sure I saw correctly. Anyway, I'll stop chatting rubbish for a second. Big Bear on pole position once again. It is actually his, when it loads, his 5th pole position of the season, his 5th pole position in RLH. Can he make it his 7th win in 10 races? Today's his 10th race. Can he make that a 70% win race, or race win percentage? That's what he'll be trying to do. In P2, flying without to Williams, of course, second and third at the moment. Flying without currently in P11 Championship, so a good result for him today can help him jump up the order. P3 for Calais, Gerbs in P4, Crankybot 5th, Ralph 6th, Annoyed Gamer 7th, Dan in P8, Pete in 9th, Riley 10th, Felix in 11th, Reespear in 12th, Skipper 13th with that 5-place rear penalty not helping him out at all, and Milo, who shouldn't actually be in the Renault, he should be in the Haas. It doesn't matter, at least we have a Renault. Let's look on the bright side. He is in P14. I feel like he might have not got the chance to select it, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Number 57 for him, and the guys at the front are just waiting to get going. I need to make sure I do a good start for Nellboy's mum. Big fan of my race start, so I'm going to give it absolutely everything for her, and the drivers as well, because I'm sure we're in for a great race. 14 drivers, 28 laps. We're already on lap 2. Why not? Please will the lights come on. Here they come. We have the drivers are running their engines. We have 3, 4 and 5 red lights, and it's lights out and away we go. They were not held for they were not held for a long time at all. The Red Bull at the back getting jump up Haas instantly, covering the inside is Flying Without Calais, dropping down into people. Can he try and find a way round the outside? A Ferrari down the inside. That's an interesting point. It's such a pinch point in turn 1. There's a car, I think that's a Mercedes going off wide there. Calais and Gerbs dueling away coming out of turn 1, and it looks like Gerbs has just about nipped ahead on that one. Third man on the order, Ralph making up positions, and there's a spinner I think there. Who is that? It might be Pete going off the track there. The side by side between the Red Bull as that he takes evasive action. And there comes Pete out of absolutely nowhere, shooting back onto the track. Who's that side by side? Calais trying to go. Oh, he's lost a bit of Crankybot there. Blue momentum, Calais into the wall. No, Calais into the wall. He gets the car spun back round, and that's not great for his chances. All came from a far than ideal start for the Romanian driver. He drops down into P14 now, with green flag racing once again. Gerbs trying to come onto the back of Flying Boyval, and there's a change of position. It's down further in the field as Riley Boy is getting ahead there. Ralph may be challenging for P5. He goes down the inside of Annoyed Gamer. Annoyed Gamer trying to switch back, but didn't quite get the switch back he would have wanted, and a little bit of contact means he can't attack. But oh, Calais, it just goes from bad to worse. When it rains it pours. So unlucky last week, and it's just not worked for him once again. Reespear trying to get involved in this, but of course he's a race winner. We cannot forget Reespear. A bit of unluckiness as Skipper's had a moment. What's happened to Skipper? He's off in the gravel. I think maybe he might have lost the rear of the car, and that allows Felix to sneak past on the inside as Big Bet does the fastest lap. Oh, the race was not a Big Bet. Oh no, it just, oh, I panicked there for a second. I thought that'd been a big moment. Why is DRS enabled? We're on lap 2. It's getting very well. I don't know what it's doing. We're not yeah, put the DRS on for the bands. Go on then. I mean, Big Bear's not actually in 6th, but it says he is for the bands. Gerbs fine with Bowers in the lead, apparently he's doing very well. Gerbs purple in that first sector. The timing board on the left hand side, he's having an absolute mare. What is going on? It's crazy at the moment. You can't wear the battles. Everyone's in a battle. Pete gets the first 3-second time penalty of the race. Calais into the pit lane, maybe now trying a bit of an alternate strategy. Didn't start the race on the mediums. We'll have a quick look. Yes, Milo did Calais onto the hard tyres. He's looking to go long into this race, trying something a little bit different. And that's what he'll be hoping for. Dan in close proximity. I don't think we have the DRS. Do we? It said no, we're back onto lap 2 rather than lap 3. We didn't have DRS. Why did it lie to us? But now Calais, just get your head down, son, and good things will come. Side by side with Crankybot. I'm not sure how Crankybot did get side by side, because we didn't quite see at the time. As Skipper and Felix dueling away down at turn 12. Skipper now trying to go around the outside as Felix goes a little bit deep. I'm going to see a little bit of a duck and under there from the Red Bull man. Felix though looking to send it down the inside. He's going to try and think about it. The Red Bull driver gives him the room and tries to do a bit of a duck and under again. He's going to get the better exit. Big Bear on the power, and as they make their way through the long right hander, it's going to be a battle. Ooh, I thought he was about to lose the rear of the car there, but I think Felix's lack of front wing is going to mean that he can't take that as he would have wanted to, and yes, off into the runoff he goes down. I think he'll be coming into the pit lane. Yes, he will, as he locks up that front. Calais, get your head down, son. I'm sure you can rectify the poor race start. A Big Bear leading the way, 1.6 seconds out from Flying Without Gerbs, keeping within close proximity of the Williams driver. And I think we're in for a very tactical race at this point. Clay getting a 3-second time penalty. It's not what he would have been wanting. That was down at turn 19, and Gerbs right on the back of his teammate Flying Boy Val. Getting onto a bit of overtake there. You can see at the bottom of your screen, steering wheel DRS is activated as well. Flying Boy Val, of course, not close enough to have the DRS and is making their way down into turn 12. The Williams driver is still ahead. And Riley Boy getting very close to Reese Beer. He's had a great start to this race. Gaining, I think, 1 position. We'll have a look at the positions gained. He has gained 1 position, but Reese Beer, actually, the man who gained 4. He is having a fantastic start to this race. And currently sat in P8. Oh, but Riley Boy losing the rear of the car. Can Pete punish him for that mistake? Not on this occasion. The Mercedes driver a little bit too far back, but that is going to put Pete in. Oh, and Skipper's had another spin down at turn number 15. Maybe just losing the rear again. The Renault has gone away. I don't think there was a collision between them. We can always speculate. Maybe there was. Pete just about within a second. He's got DRS on the Red Bull driver in front. Riley was me wanting to try and reel that Haas driver back in, and Gerbs is getting very close to Flying Boy Val, and that's how close he is. He's off the track. That's going to be at least a warning, I would have thought, for the Alfa Romeo driver. Coming out of turn 9 now, and the car looking very, very twitchy at that point. They make their way down towards turn 11. Pete getting another 3-second time penalty as Flying without, maybe looking to prioritise the exit there, and that's exactly what he has done. Getting great traction out of turn 11. Goes really closed up on the entry, not using overtake. Interestingly enough, is the Alfa Romeo driver. Neither is Flying without. Both of them don't have a lot. They've really been using it to push away, and that's exactly what they've done. Crankybot a little bit further back from those two, and look who's right behind him. It's Ralph, the man currently sat in P2 in the championship. He's in P2 in that racing point of his, and he's going to be looking to try and put his car up in a P4. Annoyed Gamer though, also hassling the back of the Ferrari. Both Ferraris under attack at the moment, but the Ferrari powered Alfa Romeo is hassling that Williams through this last sector. Flying Moval, can he hold on? Gerbs looking very, very pacey at the moment. Getting on the power, they got so close there. Flying Moval already breaking the toe. It's going to be DRS and overtake for the Alfa Romeo. I don't know if he's going to get close enough on the run up towards turn number 1. He gets on the brakes and just has to tuck in further back. We'll see as in the other battles, Dan doing the exact same as what Flying with Val did. And as Ralph flies now, he's now out of DRS range. He's not going to have that same boost down the back and main straight. But Gerbs he's within 0.6 of a second. The gap, well, now 3. Reese Big, 3-second time, but I don't know. Flying with Val had to get out of it there to maybe avoid a warning. And down in towards turn 11, he's again maybe just prioritising that exit, but that allows Gerbs to really close up, and Flying Val losing the rear of the car now, gets on the power, and overtake enabled for the Alfa Romeo behind. It's DRS enabled as well, and as we fly down towards turn number 12, covering the inside. There will be a late move. Maybe the inside is going to try, maybe go around the outside. Who dares to go late on the brakes? The Alfa Romeo tries to go around the outside, but Flying Val shuts that door firmly, and Gerbs cannot find a way past as they go into turn 12. Flying Val doing an absolutely fantastic job to try and to hold off Gerbs, who seems to have a very, very strong race pace. And what this is doing is allow Big Bear to absolutely run away with things. 3.3 seconds out in front is the McLaren driver. And Annoyed Gamer getting a lot closer to down. What's happened further down the order? Riley Boys managed to get ahead of Reese Beer. Very good move. Oh, and Reese Beer losing the rear of the car. Will that allow Pete to get involved? Not on this occasion. Just has to sit behind, but a good move. Riley Boy puts himself up in a pier, and after that little mistake earlier we saw, he has managed to close in on the Haas driver and put himself up. And Annoyed Gamer, first one to pull the trigger on the pit stops. He will be looking to maybe make an undercut on some of the drivers around him. Marlow getting a 3-second time penalty, and Riley Boy promoted into P7 now after Annoyed Gamer comes into the pit lane. But he can keep it the tidiest through sector 1. Flying Val doing a fantastic job at the moment. He's running a little bit wide once again. That's going to compromise him now as he runs through turn 8 and 9. And actually a little bit too deep there was Gerbs, and Flying Val gets on the power and he starts to build a little bit of a gap. Flying, that's Felix spinning down at turn number 14. And Flying Val again just prioritising that exit, and that is really helping him down this main straight. Is he trying to save a little bit of overtake? Well, no, he's not, because I think he is actually... Well, no, he's not. He's got 6%, but the fault that counts. Gerbs, maybe he's trying to do that using the DRS. Now, if I was Gerbs, play this a little bit cleverly. Like Tom cleverly. You know, use the DRS. He's got the pace to hang with flying without using that overtake. You know, now try and maybe save a bit of ERS. Use the DRS to pull himself along on the straights, and that could be a good play to help save some of that overtake without losing too much time. Ralph, though, pretty close behind Crankybot, who's got a lot more ERS than him. Seems to be the defenders don't have a lot of ERS at the moment. Everybody seems to be staying out in this top 5 for the time being. Of course, we've got to keep an eye, one of our eyes, on Annoyed Gamer. He is on a brand new set of tyres. He'll be wanting to push the quick laps in now to try and make a bit of an undercut work. Dan gets a bit of a time penalty there, as he is a little bit further back from his battle, see a bit of front wing damage is probably the reason for that. And he's starting to close up. Crankybot now can start to really see Gerbs in front of him. We'll see what he can do. If he can get closer, maybe think about a bit of DRS. Ralph as well, just about within DRS range, is very close between these two. Looks like Ralph has got a good exit coming out of turn 9, and that should allow him, because the detection point is about here. And give us that line. And, oh, Gerbs losing out a little bit there. Is he going to get DRS? Yes, he is. But Flying Without managed to almost make the gap over a second there. He's 1.2 now. The Flying Without, if he can hold on to that, Crankybot's the one that's going to be challenging Gerbs now. And if I think what Flying Without will be wanting, will being third, fourth and fifth, to have a bit of a duel just before this pit stop phase. We might see the drivers in this lap. Annoyed Gamer, he's already closed up 2 seconds to Skipper, so I think he was battling with Dan at the time, and I feel like he's going to jump straight ahead of Dan. I think Dan's struggling with that front wing damage he has got to his Ferrari. We're 7 laps in, a quarter of the way into this race. And whilst we haven't seen too much overtaking, I am very much enjoying this. Hope everyone else is too. What will they decide to do in terms of the pit stops? No one diving in, but Big Bear is, and Gerbs is coming in now as well. But Crankybot and Ralph stay out, so a bit of a difference in strategy. Big Bear coming in from the race lead. What tyre is he putting on? It's a set of medium compound tyres for the McLaren driver, and he just about nips it. Oh, that was a bit nip and tuck ahead of Gerbs. Gerbs coming in for a set of medium tyres. He didn't take the mediums off, but you know, let's pretend he did. He was spinning there. Looks like one of the Red Bulls. It's Skipper. He is not liking that corner at all. I think he's now picked up a bit of front wing damage for his troubles. Maybe hitting that wall there on the right hand side. And who's going to be looking to pick up some of the pieces? It's Calais. I'm going to watch this because it will be an amazing overtake. Oh no, it won't. That was an interesting line you almost thought about taking. Skipper comes to pit lane, and Calais goes round the outside, and he completes the move. 4P12, and actually Skipper's retiring from the race. I don't think he's liking that corner with a virtual safety car. The virtual safety car is out. I think it might have been for that. Little retirement there for Skipper, just doing maybe a little bit. Oh no, he's hit the wall. He's stuck on that corner, so I'm not too sure what's happened. Who can get the best safety car restart now? That's something. Maybe Flying Without can get into the pit lane. It'd be nip and tuck, I think, by the time we get racing once again. And Respear as well, right in the back of Gerbs, because Gerbs pitting on that last lap, and DRS is enabled. We're racing once again. It's still yellow, but DRS has been enabled, so I'll be racing. I think we are. I think if I pause and unpause... Oh no, it's fixed itself. We're green, and we're going once again. It's been a very good start. We're Flying Without up front. We've had Crankybot as well. Ralph losing out a bit on this occasion, and Gerbs actually really close in the back of Riley Boy. Cost the brand new medium tyres for the Alfa Romeo driver, really helping him hassle the back of that Red Bull, but the top 3 all into the pit lane. Big Bear will retake the lead, I presume, because why wouldn't he? But Gerbs, all down the inside of Gerbs, there's contact between them, they're sliding off the track. That was a risky move. You don't make moves down at turn 19, and that was a day late and $1 short. Has he got front wing damage from that? How has he got no wing damage? Riley Boy into the pit lane, has he got wing damage? That was a very ambitious move down the inside to turn 19. And I don't think he had... How have neither of them got wing damage? Both of them spinning and, well, getting away with it, you must say. That's not helping Gerbs' case at all. He's managed to get ahead of Ralph. Oh, that car is very twitchy. I think those tyres are a little bit too hot. That was a big twitch moment, especially with the overtake on. That was a very, very brave boy going into the S's there. Flying Without has come out on a brand new set of soft tyres. We'll have a look at the pit stops. So Flying Without gone on to another set of softs. He seems to be doing soft, medium, or some of the other drivers are maybe thinking about soft, medium, soft. I would probably go with the mediums, because then it gives you that bit more flexibility if there's a safety car or virtual safety car. We don't know. We just don't know. He gets a 3-second time penalty. Currently down in P12, but he's on a brand new set of soft tyres. He's going for maybe that soft, medium. And we'll see what inroads he can make. We can see what how Flying Without can do in that comparison between soft and medium tyres between himself and Big Bet. Closing at the moment. But we know the McLaren driver is super quick. All the gaps spreading out a little bit at the moment. And, well, Big Bear setting the fastest lap of the race is a 36.1. What can Flying Without do on these new soft tyres? Annoyed Gamer made up position. He got ahead of Dan. Milo's managed to jump down, but of course Milo has not pitted, or he pitted very early on. I think very early on. Only has got ahead there. Actually, Dan, I think that might have been penultimate corner. That was one of our do's and don'ts. And there is Felix. Felix is Ghost Felix. We had Ghost Nova in the Asian Cup. We now got Ghost Felix. But Milo losing out there on the occasion to Dan, and I think he might have just about made the move work into turn 19. We didn't see, so we can't be sure. But I think that's where the move was done by the Ferrari man. He goes up into P7 and that new front wing. Well, he'd be very happy to have a fully intact front wing, and you can see he's feeling the rewards of that downforce on the front end now. And well, at this point, where are the battles going to be forming? Pete getting another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And Reese-Beer, can he close on Riley Boy? He's having a very strong race, I must say. Showed good pace so far, some good moves as well, and Ralph is really closing in on Gerbs. He doesn't seem to have that sort of same pace on the medium tyres that we saw a little bit earlier on the softs. He's hassling the back of Flying Without, losing out in that pit stop phase, maybe replacing the front wing. Excuse me. Both of these guys on the medium tyres. Gerbs pitted out one lap. Oh, and Ralph almost going into the pit wall there, and that's allowed Annoyed Gamer through. Lucky that he did not slam into the pit wall, but losing a position to Annoyed Gamer front, who is not an easy driver to overtake. You'll be a little bit annoyed if you're stuck behind him. And we'll see what Ralph can do. Can he close? Can he keep within a second through this middle sector? The tyre seems to be hanging with him, unlike Dan's. Was it Dan or Dan who had that? It was Gerbs, wasn't it? Gerbs coming together with Milo. Was it Milo? No, it was a Red Bull. I think it was Riley Bull. Was it a Red Bull? It might have been a Red Bull, I can't remember. You saw that he had that absolute twitch before he went into the S's, just because the tyres was like, oh, you slide them across the surface tarmac and it just heats them up, and that just means they're so unpredictable when turning in, especially when you turn in at such high speed like the S's of 3, 4, 5, and you could say 6, 7, 8 and 9, but mainly 3, 4, 5 and then into 6. 6 is a bit like Chapel. You've got Maggots and Beckers, which is 3, 4 and 5, and then Chapel finishes it off, and you go on to the straight, but of course we don't. We go into turn 7 at the end of the first sector here in USA. Reese-Beer getting close to Riley Boy, and that's a move for the Ghost against Felix, and that's put him a little bit wide off track. Oh, and Reese-Beer trying to go around the outside at that point. Can Clay tuck up the inside? Clay gets a 3-second time on it there. I'm not too sure what for. He didn't look to be that close. That is a very good move to the inside from Clay. There's a Mercedes off in the distance in the grass. Calais though sneaks up the inside, and that was a very good move from Calais, very opportunistic, and on those hard tyres especially good as well. And he's now coming up to lap Ghost Felix, who seems to have caused all this controversy. As people are trying to get past him, it's very difficult to spot your braking points when you're trying to go through a Ghost. but Calais manages to get ahead of Reese Beer, and Noel Gamer has lost spins to Ralph, and that was down in the first sector. I think maybe a bit of a moment there for Annoyed Gamers. A yellow flag as well on the mini-map on the right-hand side. And Calais has got ahead of Ryboy. He's had a Ryboy. He's had a massive moment coming out of turn 1. That allows Reese Beer, Ghost Felix and Pete to get past. What is Felix doing? Ghost Felix having an absolute... He's going for it. He's going for it, Ghost Felix. He's dueling away with Reese Beer. Can Reese Beer find his breaking point? Yes, he can. And that puts Calais up in a P9. And really unfortunate to Riley Boy. He's having a superb race. And it's really compromising though. Annoyed Gamer though trying to come back at Ralph, and as he'll go down in towards turn 12. He can't find a way past the racing point. They got very, very close though. Well, Calais up in a P9. He'll be happy. Well, will he be happy? Probably not. But I think he'll be happier with how these last couple of laps have gone. Some good moves and taking advantage of others' misfortunes. And of course, if he's going to the end, a lot of other drivers are still having to pit that one more time. Dan currently did have a lonely race in P7 at the moment. That early wing damage not helping his cause. Oh look, we can see cars in the background just going up towards turn 1. That was Flying Without and Crankybot. Annoyed Game though trying to come back at Ralph. Up towards turn 1 they go. We're not going to see a move this time around, but this seems to be a dangerous place. We're going to go on board with the AlphaTauri driver as he now flies into turn 3, 4, and then drop it down into 6th gear for 5, and then you run for a really late apex in turn 6, and now he's finished the first sector. And he needs to think about trying to keep within that second. It's about 7, 8 now tenths of a second between himself and the racing point, and he's going to get DRS. So that was important for him. Pete as well closing in on the back of Reese Beer. They're battling over the final points paying positions at the moment, and the Mercedes driver that's running a little bit wide, and I think maybe that's why he's getting the penalty, just maybe carrying a little bit too much speed into turn 5 and just can't get the car turned to the left for that tightening turn 6. See how Annoyed Game is faring down the straight, not closing in on this occasion. Doesn't have a lot of overtake to play with, and Ralph is one of those drivers that likes to save it up for when he needs it, and he decided he didn't need it then. Annoyed Gamer, this is the closest battle on track at the moment. As they make their way towards turn number 19, Pete closing in on Reese Beer. But not wide enough to make a move down into turn 12. Oh, Reese Beer ran wide. Pete almost lost the rear there and trying to go clean around the outside there. Who's going to come out on top? Pete off the track, but he's just about snuck through around the outside, and he puts his car up in a B10 there. So both of them making little errors, and this is going to allow Riley Boys to get involved in the battle. It's not over for that final points position by any means, as Crankybot gets a freezing time penalty. That could be crucial towards the end of this race. Reese Beer, poor exit though, and he's dropping now down into P12. Riley Boy goes up and ahead round the outside before the corner, but goes in a little bit too deep now. Riley Boy, will Reese Beer go clean around our outside? Yes, he will. There he goes. And to go into the S's, and Reese Beer regains P11 on this lap, but Reese Beer runs a little bit wide himself. Riley Boy now trying to sneak up the inside. The room wasn't there, and Reese Beer blocks the door, and he blocks the door again, and that was a bit naughty, in my opinion. Bit of a double move, as Riley Boy was trying to set him up and maybe just try and nip up and inside, as he was expecting the Haas driver to run wide, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for turn number 9. And yes, I've given my opinion on that. I don't think we need to add any more. Annoyed Gamer only just about within a second. We've passed half race distance as well at this point. I'm going to say it because we do need one. I would quite like a safety car. There you go. I've said it. I've said it. That's it. I won't say any more. I've said it. Quite like a safety car. As an Annoyed Gamer, 3 tenths, 2 tenths. Not close enough to have a go into turn 1. Can keep it nice and tight though. Reese Beer still on the back of Riley Boy. I'm worried about that one. Getting a little bit out of hand as it becomes a little bit personal. Down for P11 at the moment. You can see they've already dropped back 6 seconds from Pete. Clay's slowly starting to reel in Milo. He's going very long on the medium tyres, maybe looking to do a one-stop medium to softs. Have to see what he decides to do. Currently down in P8. Clay just behind him, definitely closing that gap. Ralph seems to be another driver like Fun Without that prioritises the exit. And Neugamer looking to get the car tucked in a bit more and make sure he's nice and close to a bit of a slipstream. And then the gap is actually now over 1 second, so I have to make sure he can work harder. Did he even have DRS that lap? We'll never know. We will never know. I guess I could look back in the stream. I'll look back in the stream. I don't think he did. I can't tell on my phone. Sorry about that. I don't think he might not have had DRS. Gap's still around a second at the moment. Reespit and Riley Boy making the run down towards turn number 12. He's going to look to the inside. Now he's the Haas driver. Red Bull versus Haas. And down into braking. So it looks like the Haas driver is down the inside. And this time the move between them is a little bit cleaner than it previously was. Riley Boy really challenge going further on. Annoyed Gamer coming into the pit lane, but he's got a penalty for it as he speeds. And that is not what you want when you come in the pit lane. And Reespit has managed to get ahead of Riley Boy. And it's Haas ahead of Red Bull on this occasion, both of them on 5-lap old medium tyres. Where will Annoyed Gamer feed back out? He's going to be behind Dan. Will he be behind Milo? He's gone 15 laps on the medium compound tyres. He is there. He goes up to the top of the hill. And Annoyed Gamer is going to be trying a little bit of an undercut once more. Maybe just get ahead of Ralph. They were battling away, of course, before he came into the pit lane. Look who's caught up to Milo significantly. It's Calais. 7 tenths between the Renault and the Williams driver at this point as they make their way through the S's. They're just dipping outside of that 1 second. Can he get within a second just before we get to the DRS detection zone? Looks like Milo's gone a little bit deep. He's going to try and get a good exit now, but I think that gap is a lot closer than the Renault driver would be wanting. Of course, he's actually the Haas driver. Both Haas drivers are here today. Milo being Reespit's teammate. I feel like it would have been the game that would have put him in the Renault rather than himself. And the run down towards turn number 12, I think Clay's a little bit too far back on this occasion. Big Bear staying, causing that he's on the medium side. Fun Without coming in a little earlier than I would have expected. I would have expected to see him. Oh, and Riley Boy's he's coming into the pit lane. Riley Boy into the pit lane. And he's come back out in P12, looking to make an undercut on Reespit, potentially soft tyres to the end for the Red Bull man. Flying without on a set of mediums, and that promotes Gerbs up into P3. To promote Ralph as well up into P4. We got yellow flag. That's the Haas driver Reespit with Pete. Pete's got grass on his tyres. Reespit doesn't. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's a sign. They really close. What's Pete? Oh, and Pete's into the wall. He's skating across the grass. Loses the position to. And that's off into Narnia. Loses the position. He's going to dart into the pit lane, and Clay's got ahead of Milo, and both of them have gone well. I think Clay went a little bit too deep on the brakes. Milo does the old ducks under. Pete has retired from the race. I don't know where. I can't see him on the minimap. I think in the... Oh, we have a virtual safety car. A virtual safety car. It's come a little bit late for some drivers, but who has it come perfectly for? Riley Boy had the chance, but of course he's only just pitted. Not really going to benefit him. I think we might see the likes of Big Bear in the pit lane. Not that he needs the benefit of a virtual safety car, but he's going to get it. He's not staying out. Very interesting. I'd take the opportunity to come in for some softs. Maybe he doesn't have a fresh set available to him. Will Crankybot be close enough? He's up on his delta, I can see on the bottom of the screen. Will he come into the pit lane? He's staying out. We might be seeing a few one-stops developing in this race. Gerbs staying up. Surprised no one's taken advantage of this. Thought Big Bear would have been... Oh, and Ralph staying up. Flommeval has only just pitted. He's glad that everyone stayed out. We're racing once again. DRS is enabled. And what is the strategy for everyone near the top? Maybe they're don't want to pit this early. Softs, they don't think softs can go to the end. Me and Riley Boy seem to disagree. Bit of a cheap pit stop coming for the safety car. I think actually Reese would have stayed in the lead. Milo coming to pit lane, and that releases Calais now up into P8. And Milo gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And now we have a bit of a lull in activities. I think it will be... Let's have a look at the old penalty front. Big Bet. Wow. What else would we expect? None to his name at all. 1 penalty for Crankybot. Gerbs has 2 warnings, needs to be careful at this point. Ralph has 2 warnings, another driver that needs to be careful. 2 warnings, so 1 penalty for Flying Boy Val. Dan, 1 penalty at the moment. I think he's got 2 warnings. Annoyed Gamer, 5-second time penalty for putting in the pit lane, I think. Calais, couple of penalties, and 2 warnings on his name. Respit, a few penalties. Milo, quite a few penalties. Rye Boy, he's got a lot of warnings, but only 1 penalty. Felix, well, it's Ghost Felix, and then Pete and Skipper are out of this race. Has anything happened? No. Final Val coming at Ralph now as he's on those fresh tyres, closing in the gap on the racing point in front. We've got less than 10 laps of this race to go, and it's all quieting down. Strategy now is the main battle out on track. Yellow flag in sector 3. Dan is out of the race. He's crashed into the pit lane wall. I think he's lost the car coming out of the final corner. What does this mean for our race? There he is, just in the background. And the safety car is out. Calais got a frequent time penalty. The safety car is out. The safety car has been called out. I didn't wish for it. I kind of did. Calais into the pit lane. He will be putting on a set of fresh soft tyres. He picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But what will the guys at the front decide to do? Of course, Flying Val pitted relatively recently, but Big Bear's so far up the road, I think he can come in, put on a set of fresh softs, or a set of fresh mediums, whatever he wants. And he'll come out in the race lead still. But this will shake things up. 11 drivers left in it. Down, I think, just maybe putting the throttle down a little bit too hard coming out of that. Final corner. Losing the car and spinning off into the pit lane wall, and that has brought out the safety car. The stewards deciding that they need a safety car to help clear the stricken Ferrari. And Big Bear into the pits, and I feel like we might see Crankybot follow suit. He might as well, at most. Well, he wouldn't lose any positions. And Milo, oh Milo, that's such a silly one. Milo's got a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit white line. I think Crankybot put he was a little bit safer coming to pit lane, wanted to make sure. And everyone's coming in at this point. Ralph's coming in. Flying Boy Val's staying out, he might as well. Gerb's getting a 5-second time penalty, that could be have big implications on the race. Flying Boy Val's staying out, he might as well. 2-lap old mediums, throw a bit of caution to the wind. And he puts himself up in a P2, so he's gained a few positions by doing that. Crankybot come on the mediums. Gerb's on the softs. He's serving a bit of a penalty. Or he wasn't. He was just practicing his magic. And he's already out the pit lane. That's how quick he is. He does the magic. Boom, he's out. Doesn't muck about. And Annoyed Gamer's got ahead of Ralph. Of course, Ralph on a set of fresh soft tyres now. And yeah, Annoyed Gamer 3-lap old medium. So he's used this safety car instead of pitting. Started to stay out. Gain a couple of places, and now we just wait for the field to bunch up. We are already bunched up. Brilliant. We should get some nice bunching. Clay's got a bit of a gap to close, but you can see that delta's coming down pretty quickly, and I think we'll get racing, not this lap, the next lap. So a bit of time just to sit and admire the circuits of the Americas. Do you know what? While we're here, I think we'll have a quick talk about who's in the best position in this race, and then we'll have a talk about the track, because I've got the track up here on F1. So Big Bet, well, fresh to the softs. Can they do 8 laps? And well, actually be 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 8 laps when we get racing. We're not going to get racing this lap. 8 laps when we get racing. The soft side should do that absolutely fine. It's a brand new set. I think he'll be fine. Flying with our P2, a little bit older mediums, but that shouldn't make much of a difference, considering he'll only have to do think 11 laps by the time he gets down on that set. It's only 2 more than Crank, I think he'll be fine. But interesting how Gerbs does. He has got that 5-second time penalty that he would have served, but he got one when he came in. So I think he's only got 1 5-second time penalty. He might have a normal corner cutting penalty as well, so that extra 3 seconds. But on fresh softs, he'll be rapid at the start. He'll be having the freshest rubber, the softest rubber. Can he challenge the top second and third? Annoy Gamer, joint oldest tyres. Oh no, oldest tyres on the track at the moment. 4 old mediums, but he is quick. We do know that. Ralph just behind on fresh softs, the same scenario as Gerbs. Calais 1 lap old mediums, so he'll be looking to try and he's going to catch the back of the field. Will he have Reesbeer joining him though? He's on to Frederick Chef soft. He's pushing now. Can he get up to the back of the field? Because Reesbeer and Milo could be very quick on the restart. Felix is back. He's back. Good on you, Felix. I thought we had a ghost. He's managed to get back in, and he's on a set of fresh soft tyres. I think he's a lap down, but he's going to get involved, and that's what we like to see. Bit of duking for positions further down the order, but we'll talk about the track now. The Circuit of the Americas, designed by Herman Tarker in collaboration with the American architectural firm HKS, endured something of a nervy start of construction, suffering several setbacks, but it was well worth the wait when the 1978 F1 champion Mario Andretti opened the track on October the 21st, 2012. Its first Grand Prix, 2012. The first US Grand Prix since the 2007 race at Indianapolis. Unsurprisingly, over 100,000 spectators packed the Austin venue, witnessing Lewis Hamilton's last ever win in the McLaren, of course, before he switched to Mercedes. And that got that move on Sebastian Vettel. And there was a very close fight between them. The circuit itself, when we've seen it like today, it's replicating a lot of different sections. So you've got a bit like, turn 3 to 6, like Maggers and Beckett's. The S-curves at Suzuka as well, bit of similarity. And turn 12 to 15, a bit like Hockenheim's stadium section. And the uphill runs of turn 1, well, it's a one-of-a-kind feature. Oh, I like a heli shot. Do you like a heli cam shot? The best places to watch, apparently. Spoiled for choice, actually. If you sit in the main grandstand, you'll get some good food apparently, and a good view of turn 1, and of course the race start as well. But if you want to see the action up close, the stadium section in turn 15 and 16 is a very good spot. Have I got it wrong? Are we not racing on this lap? I got it wrong. Apologies. Why are we going again though? I swear we've been under the safety car for more than 2 laps. Anyhow, we move on. We get more heli shots. Yay. Do you like a good helicopter shot? No, it's going to end. Yeah. It's very. I remember seeing a video where it was all just dirt. The whole track was just dirt before they built it, and it was like someone sculpted it in sort of some computer program. It was very, very, very cool. It has got. I think the problem I've got with Kota is some of the runoffs are blue, white, and red, which just remind me of France. And no one likes France as a track. They like the country. They've got baguettes and stuff. That's good. Cheese, white cheese. It's just a bit like a car park, isn't it? Put a gravel trap in there somewhere for the bands. You could just straight line that. Felix get a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. It's not going very well for him, as he seems to have slowed down a little bit. I don't know what's happening at the back of the field, because he's ahead of Riley Boy and Reesbeer, but he actually isn't. Reesbeer decided to stay out. Bold call. We've been on the safety car for quite a while, and we should definitely get racing this lap. I promise we'll get racing this lap. You don't have to listen to me anymore blabble on trying to fill the time. But my predictions for this, I think Gerbs will have a really fast restart on those soft compound tyres. Annoy Gamer might struggle initially to warm up those older tyres. I think Reesbeer will as well, currently down in P10. See, they're weaving all the way down the straight, trying to get temperature into those fronts. And the safety car is finally in this lap. I got it a 1 lap out. I'm normally quite good at predicting when the safety car comes in. Not on this occasion. And that of course means Big Bear becomes the effective safety car. He will lead the pack now. And we saw it last week in Canada. He kept it nice and close and sort of caught the driver in second off guard. Marley gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flag, so they seem to be stacking up. Faker isn't really pulling away, I think, like Big Bear would have been wanting. Flying Without maybe have watched some of the footage from last week and knows how Big Bear likes to do his restarts. And safety car pulls in very, very late. We're going to get going, but he has actually been held up. Cranky Box gets a 5-second time penalty. Problem is he went a little bit too early and got held back. I think that was the problem there. We're racing though once again, and he's actually got a really good restart because of it. Gerbs now challenging the back of Cranky, but overtake will be enabled for absolutely everybody on the run up the hill. This is not a great camera angle to see a lot of the action. Annoyed game, well, it just switched sides on the front wing. No one making moves into turn 1 on this time around. Because we start lap 23 now. It's going to be a hectic end to this race. Ralph now challenging the back of Annoyed Gamer, getting a lot closer through the S's and really gaining just on as they make their way through now. Turn 6, laid up Gerbs as well on the soft common tyres. Run like a Cranky Bot. He'll be wanting to put himself on the podium, which is, I think, Poundage could change that, but look who's out in front. Already 2 seconds out. Clear and away is Big Bear. He's got the clean air, he's got the freshest tyres, and he is pushing off to maybe take his 7th win of the season, looking to make it a 70% win rate percentage thing for him. Clay very close on the back of Ralph now. This could be a good battle for P5. We've got sort of a train from P5 and a battle at the moment for P2. Who's going to come out on top this time around? I don't think we've seen any moves as everybody just using all of overtake. They've got no moves up in the battle for P2 and no moves in the battle for P5. Milo maybe trying to line up Calais there, but couldn't find a way past Gerbs on those soft tyres. He's just chomping at the bit. He wants to find a way past Cranky, what I think maybe had to think about on the inside, but just thought better of it on this occasion. Ralph getting really close to Annoyed Gamer as well, and I'm going to say it, but Ralph getting a little bit annoyed behind the AlphaTauri on this restart. And look at Big Bear, it's 3 seconds already. He's flying out in front, maybe trying to set a fastest lap and make sure he gets all 26 points on this occasion. And well, there you go, 33.7. That's a very impressive time, quicker than some people's quali times. The Cranky Bot seems to have got a bit of a poor exit. We don't seem we have DRS just yet. Gerbs isn't close enough to make a move into turn 1. We got a spinner somewhere. I think that might be Felix. He was already a lap down. I feel bad for him. Ralph still on the back of Annoyed Gamer. Annoyed Gamer is actually closed in on Gerbs a little bit as these 3 start to battle away for P2. I'm running a little bit wide there. He's managed to get the car back online, but he runs a little bit wide. And that's when our Cranky Bots are really close in as they make their way down towards turn 11. Willie look down the inside. He's going to hang back and just think about that long run down towards the best overtaking spot on this track. Was it tightens off, and look who's breaking the turbo already. He's weaving all the way down the main straight, trying to make sure the Ferrari car can't get past. It's Williams versus Ferrari, something we've already seen in the real life F1 this season, but the Williams holding on to the position this time around. Calais under attack from Milo, because the soft runners are definitely at the advantage in this early stage of the race, but it will come back to the medium guys maybe on the final couple of laps. So Gerbs wanting to get past, wanting to use his tyre advantage as quickly as he can, but look, flying by Val, making that Williams as wide as humanly possible. Get the temperature up so we can see how the overtakes are faring on some of the drivers, and who has and who doesn't have DRS. We'll get a notification maybe if DRS comes enabled. Cranky Bot a little bit wide through turn 19, and well, that's another fastest lap for Big Bear. Cranky Bot struggling on those medium tyres a touch in comparison to Gerbs just behind him, and DRS is enabled now. We're not going to get on this straight, and saving a bit of overtake. There is Gerbs using it again, a double dose of overtake for him there, and Flum Without just about put a second between himself and Cranky Bot. Cranky Bot doesn't get the run for turn 1 he would want, and he's dropping back a little bit now, coming into Gerbs' clutches. And look who's just behind. Annoyed Gamer, Ralph and Calais wanting to get involved in this battle for some of the top places. Felix getting a time penalty, and he runs really wide. Gerbs, sorry, the wrong Alfa Romeo. Gerbs runs really wide, and it's an Annoyed Gamer to close in. It's not what Gerbs have been wanting, and Cranky Bot just about reeling himself in to DRS territory. It's going to be really close. 968, 967, I think. Oh, it just jumped over a second. I'm not sure if he's going to have it, and he just about does. He's a lucky boy to have a bit of DRS. As they make their way, there it opens, and we're going to flip back. It's not the best of camera angles. Gerbs, oh, and Ralph on the back of Annoyed Gamer, looking to the inside now. Racing Point versus AlphaTauri, and down the inside goes Ralph. I think he's going to get the move done. Much fresher tyres. Can the AlphaTauri fight this one back? I think he's going to sit back on this occasion. And have a look down the inside. Can Calais now get involved in this battle? Annoyed Gamer a bit offline on that point, but Clay can't find a way past currently in P7. I think we're going to have the order's going to be shaken up with penalties. One position that won't be shaken up though is the lead. He's 6 seconds out in front. He's looking to take his 7th win of the season. Well, Big Bear, what more can we say? Fantastic stuff from him once again, and no matter what is thrown at him, he is fine. He does not care. No penalties for him. Didn't even have a warning when we last checked. Crankybot now, no, he's not got any ERS and he doesn't have any DRS. It's not going very well at the moment for Crankybot in terms of the R and the S. We'll see. Well, penalties could shake it up. He is currently in the hot seat. He's currently in that final podium position. Gerbs does get a 3-second time penalty, so the Alfa Romeo is very aggressive in this final couple of laps, picking up a few penalties here and there for track limits. And Ralph, after getting ahead of Noy Gamer, doesn't seem to be able to reel in this battle like he would have been wanting to. But how will Crankybot fare down this straight? See, he's not got a lot of overtake. He's got DRS to help him defend. But Gerbs will be on the back of him, and Gerbs does have a bit of electrical boost to his advantage. And he seems to be closing in the gap now as they make their way down towards turn number 12. He's in the slipstream. Will he duck out of it just before the corner? He's going to stay back on this occasion. Think better of it, and he's right behind the Ferrari. Of course, both Ferrari powered cars. Performance wise, it doesn't matter. Oh, I like a heli shot. He's right behind. Oh, I thought the rear end was about to go there for Crankybot, but he holds the car nicely. He's currently holding on to 3rd place, flying by without, looking very good for P2 on track, that is. And Calais closing on Annoy Gamers. Annoy Gamers starting to drop back from Ralph. I think maybe those medium tyres weren't the best option, as they just don't quite have that initial grip of the soft tyres, but hopefully they'll come back to the drivers a little bit later on. Gerbs will be hoping that as well. No, Gerbs will not be hoping that, because he is stuck behind the Ferrari of Crankybot now. They make their way up towards turn 1. They start the climb now as they go past where pole position was. And once more we start the penultimate lap of this race. Crankybot still holding on. Oh, and Calais and Annoy Gamer duking it out. Calais down the inside. Can he get the move done? He squeezes Annoy Gamer out, and Calais puts himself up on the P6. That was a good move. Late on the brakes there for the Williams driver, but he gets ahead now. Can he make a charge on any of the positions higher up the field? Can he reel in Ralph? Can he reel in maybe Gerbs, as these guys are starting to really battle away? Gerbs all over the back of Crankybot, taking a lot of curve on the inside there as he looks to try and get as best exit he could. He may be trying to move around the outside. They're coming through turn 8 and into 9, and he's lost him a little bit of momentum, flying with once again prioritising that exit, and this should help him hold on. He is very much in the hot seat. What's his overtake looking like? Not a lot. We've got yellow flag further back. I think that is for Reespear and CDR Felix. But here comes Gerbs. Will this be the lap? He's going to do it on the penultimate lap. He looks to the inside, the Alfa Romeo driver. Who dares go latest on the brakes? It seems to be Gerbs. He's going to go down the inside, and he gets ahead of Crankybot and puts himself up in a P3. Crankybot runs wide, and Ralph can't sneak past in this case. Mr. Lambs are closing. Reespear has retired. We haven't got enough time for a safety car. Haven't got enough time for a virtual safety car. We will just move on, and he might hold on to that. It's going to be close. He's a lap. No, I think he will lose that final point. Clay, we're hoping the guys in front battle a bit more. Clay will be hoping for fireworks up in front as Ralph has joined the battle for P2, and Gerbs now all over. Oh, Gerbs into the wall! Gerbs just about avoiding a retirement. He's lost his front wing, getting on the power a bit too early. I'm not sure if he'd overtaken Nable. He spins the car around. That allows Milo and Annoy Gamer Clay passing. Clay now promoted up in a P5. Ralph is now the one on the back of Crankybot who's jumped himself back up into 3rd. Gerbs was all over the back. Crankybot running wide, coming out of turn 2, I think. Was there wing damage? Was there contact? I didn't think there was for anyone there. No damage. I don't think there was any contact. I think maybe just applying that throttle a little bit too early, a little bit too eager to get past, and Crankybot now holding on to that 3rd place, but I'm not sure how penalties are going to shake this one up. Big Bird 7 seconds out in front. He's already down that long main straight, and Ralph on the back of Crankybot. Crankybot losing the rear of the car. He doesn't have to overtake the defend. This could be Ralph's chance to get up in a 3rd place. I don't think Ralph has a lot of penalties. We know how clean and consistent he is. Ralph looks to the inside now. He's already alongside. He's already going to be passed. Ralph puts his car up into P3. Can Crankybot fight this one back as they go into the braking zone? No, he can't. Annoy Gamer looking in the back of Calais. We can't find a way past on this occasion. And I feel like this could be the order. We might see some late moves. We might do. We might not. As Ralph up in a P3. Annoy Gamer's gone past Calais. They're down the inside of each other. Calais trying to hold it up the inside. Oh, and round the outside goes Annoy Gamer. I think Calais will be a little bit annoyed by that one. Big Bear though comes around the final corner. He's going to take his 7th win of the season. And it's a win in Austin, Texas for the Finnish driver, just replicating what Kimi Räikkönen did in 2018. Flying Without will take P2 out on track. Ralph is just behind him. How will penalty sort things out? Ralph takes P2. Crankybot takes 4th. Flying Without is in 3rd. Kalea now, Annoyed Gamer duking it out. Annoyed Gamer ends up getting ahead on penalties. I'm not sure how close that battle was when they come across the line, because the arrows are still switched. Milo takes P7. Riley Boy's going to come around the corner. It's a hard fought P8 for him. Gerbs, oh, it could have been so much better for him. P9 though is what he'll get, and Felix will be the final car to round the field. But it's Big Bet with another race win. It's a 70% now. That's his record when it comes to race wins. 7 out of 10 for the McLaren driver, and well, he can't be far off sealing up this championship. First for him. Driver of the day goes to Milo. Of course, he didn't join us in qualifying, so managed to make up a few positions in the race and had a strong race himself. The McLaren team taking the plaudits today, and despite his teammate not being here, he made sure he had the best possible performance. And Ralph ending up in P2, Flying Without in 3rd. And Ralph Mr. Consistent, avoiding penalties, and that's why he's 2nd in the championship. Say penalties for everybody but the top 2. I think they'll be very happy. I don't think Skipper had any as well, but he did retire quite early on. Big Bear 1st, Ralph 2nd, Flying Without 3rd, Crankybot in 4th, Annoyed Gamer 5th, Calais in P6. Excuse me, 7th for Riley Boy, Milo in 8th, Gerbs in 9th, Felix in 10th, Reespear in 11th, 12th for Dan 990, and then Dan, Pete and Skipper are DNFs. Another win for Big Bet. Ralph on the podium once again, and Flying Without taking that 3rd spot. There's a real strong battle. Interesting where Gerbs would have finished. He did have quite a few penalties. He had, I hope it flicks up again. Please flick up again. He had 11 seconds. The 2 guys at the top had 8 and 5. I feel like he would have been maybe P5 or P6 if he finished without spinning. So that is round number 10. USA. We go to Mexico next week. Of course, we start the action on Tuesday with C1 and C3. There's GT Sport action, of course, on Sunday in the Touring Car Championship. If anyone wants to stream it and has got GT Sport, let us know. Monday, we join back with me. Of course, fortunately there was no streams for the race around the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. I think that's what it's called. It was a very strong race, and then we moved to one of the tracks, I think, in France in GT Sport for Monday. That should be a really good race in the Super Formula Pro, so make sure to check that out on Monday, as well as Romanian League. They'll be racing in Mexico, which is round 11, where we'll be going to on Thursday, so make sure to join us for that, and we'll see everybody back on the RLH channel very, very soon.